Hey, it's Kath from knitting.com. Welcome back to our channel. This video is for newbies out there. We're going to talk about some things I wish I knew before I started knitting. For context, I started off as a crocheter and began my knitting journey around 2019. I had a ton of fun with the craft, so I decided to keep it in my hobby rotation. Yes, your girl has a number of crafty hobbies and knitting is one of my faves. Anyways, enough yapping. Here are 10 things I wish I knew before I started knitting. Number 1. Size matters. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it that counts. But that's not true in this case. Your knitting needle should be easy to hold and won't cause your hands to cramp. So your best bet is to use thick ones. Google would tell you that the size US 8 or 5mm needles is the ideal size for beginners. But from my own experience, it's better to go a few sizes bigger, like these US 11 or 8mm needles. For comparison, this is how thick the 5mm are and these are the 8mm needles. As you can see, this pair is much thinner and a bit harder to hold compared to the thicker wooden needles. The larger gauge also gives you larger stitches that are much easier to see and count. But more on that later. This is a box of 9 bamboo needles with all the fun sizes. I'll link it below in case you want to check it out for yourself. Number 2. Get wood. I know this video is starting off as a bit of a dirty joke, but please bear with me. Wooden or bamboo knitting needles is the best material for beginners. The rough texture stops the yarn from slipping off your needles. Trust me, dropping the loops off your needle is not something you want to have to deal with often as you're learning. Number 3. Choose thick yarn. Another one that I didn't do was use thick yarn. Google told me that worsted weight yarn, like this cake of red heart yarn, was a good starting point. And maybe it is for some people, but not for me. Instead, I encourage you to go a size larger like the super bulky Stacko yarn. The thick strands are easier to grab onto, and the stitches are even easier to count. Here are the two knitted swatches side by side. I knitted this light blue swatch using the Red Heart worsted weight yarn, and this other one I knitted using the Stacko super bulky yarn. These OVs are called knit stitches. This one, the worsted weight yarn, is much smaller than the super bulky yarn, so it's a bit harder to see and count stitches. Knitting with yarn this thin can also cause your hands to cramp, especially if you're new to the craft. Whereas stitches on this larger swatch is much easier to see and count. Here's the kicker. Both of these swatches have the same exact number of stitches. So yeah, when it comes to yarn, go for the thicker option. At least for now. You can explore the magical world of different yarn weights once you get the hang of the craft. Number 4. Go light. I love deep moody colors, and maybe you do too. But if you're a first-time knitter, you will want to use lighter colors like this bright orange and light blue yarn. Lighter yarn colors make it so much easier to see your stitches, and that's the most important part of learning how to knit. Check out these two knit swatches I made. You can see the knit stitches much more clearly here than this navy blue swatch. Don't worry, once you've gotten the hang of knitting, you can delve into darker hues. Number 5. You only need 5 things to start knitting. This is a bit of a hot take, but I think the rest of the knitting must-haves are a load of BS, especially if you're just starting out. Yes, I'm calling myself out a little bit here as well. Not everyone needs a yarn swift. Not everyone needs 20 balls of every shade of yarn. And it's completely okay to just buy enough for a single project. And you don't even need to buy multiple knitting needles from all the knitting brands online. You only need these 5 things. 2 to 3 100-gram skeins or balls of super bulky yarn in plain, bright colors. 1 pair of size 11 or 8mm wooden knitting needles. 1 darning needle or a tapestry needle. 1 pair of scissors. And this part is optional, some colorful stitch markers. That's literally it. These 5 items are enough to get you familiar with the basic knitting stitches. Only buy more yarn once you're ready to explore other knitting projects. Number 6. Learn the basics until they're boring. There are a lot of beautiful knitting stitches, so I understand the excitement of wanting to dive into those right away. But take it from someone whose first project was the staghorn cable stitch. Learn the basics until they are boring. Going straight into more advanced stitches can quickly have you feeling discouraged if your project doesn't turn out the way you thought it would. So for the first few weeks, master the knit stitch and the purl stitch, and also one very simple cast on to get your yarn on the needle. I'll link a playlist for the ultimate beginner up in the cards and in the description below. Number 7. Dropping loops is normal. Sometimes you drop stitches off your knitting needle and that's totally normal. You just have to pick it back up and put it back on your needle. Of course, if you drop stitches in the middle of your project, you'll have to do a bit more than just picking it up and putting it back on. So I'm linking our beginner-friendly tutorial on how to fix drop stitches in the upper right-hand corner of this video and in the description below. Dropping stitches is super normal and happens to all knitters. No one escapes the drop stitches phenomenon. As Shakespeare said, there are two things certain in life: death and drop stitches. Or something like that. Pretty sure it wasn't even Shakespeare. Number 8. Knitting is not a race. Knitting is supposed to be slow. One project can take hours, days, weeks, and even months to make. And that's completely alright. We live in a world where everything is instant. Food, clothes, household items can now all be bought online and delivered right to our doorsteps. Getting everything within a few hours or days stops us from being able to appreciate the little things in life. But you can't do that with knitting. You have to take your time and you have to be patient. It's completely alright to be a slow knitter. That's the whole point. Number 9. Join communities. The knitting community is big and they are everywhere. You can pretty much go on any platform and find a thriving community of knitters who are more than happy to help out beginners like you. If you're having trouble with a knitting stitch or a full knitting pattern, there's definitely someone there that can help you out. Social platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, and even YouTube have very welcoming communities just waiting for you to join them. Speaking of which, we have a newsletter where we share free beginner-friendly knitting patterns, tutorials, and special offers every week. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to join by clicking on the link in the description below. As a bonus, you will get one free knitting pattern sent to your inbox for the next 5 days. And finally, number 10. Your first few projects will probably suck. This one's a no-brainer, but it's a good reminder for all of us crafters. Our first few projects will suck, and that's okay. Your stitches will probably be uneven, and you might even drop a few of your loops in the middle, and that's just a normal part of learning a new skill. The important thing is to keep trying until you find your tension and knitting style. And there you have it. These are all the things that I wish I knew before I started knitting. There's definitely a learning curve, but all that effort is so worth it. 1 minute you're struggling to get your yarn or your knitting needle. The next moment you're whipping up insane cables that put runway haute couture to shame. I hope you found this video helpful and a little inspiring. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more knitting videos in the future. See you next time.